Man, for game to watch this week, the games are slim pickings. There's some really good ones. Obviously, most of them are getting shown in prime time, which is all across Thanksgiving Day from noon to the night game, and then you've also got Black Friday at 2 o'clock. So Sunday is kind of stretched thin, but something I wouldn't even say this is like an exciting game to watch because I don't think it's going to be, but there's a lot of people out there who think that it will be. For me personally, I do not think Shedeur Sanders is going to play well in this game. Congratulations, you had a good game against the Raiders. Most quarterbacks do. But you're playing the 49ers. You're going against one of the best defensive coordinators in the league for the last number of years in Bob Sala with the 49ers. Even injury riddled, they've been
Salah.
able to go out and stop premier offenses. And when I mean premier offenses, go look at the Rams. They've been able to halt what the Rams have been able to do in those games in playing efficiently and consistently. Now, on the other side of the ball, the Browns' defense is really good. So this is still probably going to be a really close game in terms of points, but I think there's going to be a clear domination from the 49ers. I'm not expecting Shedeur to have a good game here, but you two are in Shedeur's camp. So how do you
Look,
think he's going to
the
fare
whole
against the
reason the
Niners?
whole reason you would even put this on a game to watch is because of Shedeur and Miles
Absolutely.
Garrett. Miles Garrett gets a few sacks in this game. I mean, there's no doubt he breaks the sack record then. Shedeur Sanders, if he does have any success against the Niners, you got to give him props because, like Ty Bob said, this is probably one of the better coach defenses in the NFL. I even saw a video on social media earlier, I mean, probably yesterday, saying that Bob Sala should be coach of the year, and he's not even a head coach because what he's doing with an absolutely decimated Niners defense is very impressive.
Absolutely.
So you expect Sala to just out coach or just maneuver Shedeur Sanders into a terrible game. So if Shedeur sees any success at all, I that's a positive. The Browns
Well,
should feel
you're
Browns and Shedeur haters should shut up, and Browns should feel good about Shedeur if he has any success in this game.
you're completely forgetting for the fact of what did he say last week after they won? This is looking pretty dangerous after 1 week of practice with the ones. He now has 2 weeks of practice with the ones going up against the Niners. Much better defense than the Raiders. I see nothing but danger right here for them. He's about to have a fantastic game, and Miles Garrett's going to go ahead and go off for another three, maybe four sack game. I just I see why you want to put this in game to watch, but it's going to be ugly some way or another
Oh
for
no, it's
most of the
definitely
game.
going to be ugly. There's also implications. Hey, if Shador is good, like hey, I get to take back everything bad I've said against them. So do a lot of other people, right? Because we know that the 49ers defense is
So
good.
do
He's
30, or sorry, about what 26 other NFL teams that passed up on him multiple times.
I mean, it's going to be 30. It's going to be 32 teams because the Browns also like if he plays well, the Browns also should have not taken Dylan Gabriel and they should have taken Shador, and not have sat Shador as long as they did. With that said, I just don't see it happening. He's got a possibility to shut everyone up. This is the game to do it. Their schedule only has two more easy games in terms of defenses that they'll play against. I don't see it happening. Look for like three interceptions at minimum from Shador.
What about Brock Purdy?
Brock Purdy, we all know he's asked to.
Free Mac Jones.
And I mean, the Browns defense is good. Like Tybo just said, like Miles Garrett's probably going to break the sack record this year. Who's he throwing to? His number one option is Jawan Jennings when we're not talking about Christian McCaffrey. So like they don't have
No,
much. Brandon
because
Ayuk
Christian
doesn't even
McCaffrey
want to
is the
be
top
there.
option. He leads the league in receptions.
Yeah, I get yeah. absolutely. But like even Brandon Ayuk doesn't want to be there, and they just paid him a bunch of money to be on the team. He doesn't want to even show up for meetings, and I can't blame him.
Did they just have like a big contract dispute with Ayuk though? Where they're taking some of the money
Yeah,
back or
they just
something?
told him that they weren't going to pay him the money that was guaranteed to him
Yeah.
because he didn't show up to practices and the meetings. So after they just paid him a bunch of
We'll
money,
sign him.
they're gonna
We'll
hold him.
take him. That'd be a
That lead
huge off-season acquisition. We pick up Brandon Ayuk.
For nothing.
I'm going to talk a little bit more. This brings me to my game of the week. I'm going to take it's one of the more important games for you there, Sean, as you've got a big tight end matchup coming here. The Texans will head to Indianapolis off the back of losing an overtime game to the Kansas City Chiefs. The Colts are starting to lose their grip on the AFC, where they once held the number one seed for a good portion of the season so far.
It's crazy. It's
The
almost like the playoffs don't end mid-season.
the Texans do have what I would call easily the best defense in the NFL. The Browns are close. The Niners have been playing well. I don't think anybody is. I think there's a gap between the Texans and literally any other defense in the league.
The physicality
Um,
that the Texans play with is on a different level than every other defense in the
I
league
was
right now.
telling you in the Texans Broncos game, like that those two defenses, they were just popping everybody on the field. So I don't know if the gap is that wide between the Broncos and the Texans, but definitely everybody
that's
else in the
fair.
NFL. Like
The crazy thing with the Texans is they don't have to disguise things. With the Broncos, we've seen them have to disguise a little bit more to get things to work. The Texans will just line up and run, and it's really hard to stop them. Davis Mills has been playing very, very well over the last 3 weeks while CJ Stroud is out. This is the first time that he's ever strung multiple wins
and
together
CJ
in a
Stroud
row.
hates it.
And CJ Stroud is not having a good time. Good news for CJ Stroud. He has been cleared from concussion protocol. He had a full participation in practice this week.
I
So
was
do expect him to play on
I was
Sunday.
completely wrong about the severity of his concussion.
Yeah, he's gonna be back next week. Not even close, dude.
Uh, um,
Let him play.
with that said, Sean, I do fear for you a little bit. One of the things with CJ Stroud is he hates to throw to his tight end, and that's been really, really helpful for Davis Mills to have Dalton Schultz there. But CJ Stroud hates Dalton Schultz. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there with their relationship because Schultz has been a very good and consistent tight end through his career, but CJ
So say
Stroud
it seems
does
like
not like it.
CJ Stroud liked him early in his career. He is not liking him as much of the past year and a half now.
He liked him in year
Falling off
one when
big
he
time.
didn't have
Yeah.
literally any other option. Now
Go
with the
go back to
breakout
go
of
back to the well, man. Go back to the well.
now with the breakout of Nico Collins and some of the other weapons he has, he wants to air the ball out. And they're not running it well. They don't have a consistent offense. I would say that for the Texans, like this is going to be another really really close defensive battle. But there are many implications because the Colts could easily piss away the AFC South. The Jags are right behind them, and the Colts aren't, or excuse me, the Texans aren't necessarily out of it either.
Yeah, the Colts can easily do this. More than likely, they're going to lose one of these two matchups this year against the Texans. Just happens every single year, no matter how good or bad either team is. They're going to lose one or two matchups with the Jaguars as well, too. That just happens every single year with them. And if the Texans still keep playing like they have been on defense, they'll be fine. Somehow squeaking wins out, especially against the Bills. But I think this is going to be an exciting matchup, and this is actually going to be another matchup against a playoff caliber defense that Daniel Jones is not ready to go up against. So you can see actually how bad he is for the Colts and how far that he will not be able to take you guys into the playoffs this year.
He's
Well,
coming back down to
truthfully,
earth, but he's not turning the ball over. That's something to
He's
keep an
not,
eye
but
on.
he hasn't been playing up to that first 9 weeks of the season.
so Daniel Jones struggled down the stretch against our defense, and honestly, the best part of the Texans' defense is their pass rush and pass defense. They have good DBs, and they have the best pass rush in the NFL. So if the Texans contain JT, um, I have full faith that the Texans would be able to win this game. But even without that, Daniel Jones, he's facing a tougher defense than the Chiefs. So will he be successful? Even if
No, he
JT's
won't.
having a good game, will Daniel Jones be successful? And I don't think so.
He won't.
The crazy thing is you don't need Daniel Jones to have a good game if JT is.
And the Texans lack firepower or the means to get it done on offense usually. Um, I don't know how many more wins if Mills would stay in they would get, but I think CJ Stroud can do enough to beat the Colts.
That brings me to my next slate of game of the week here. That is Bears versus Eagles. Eagles are 7-point favorites at home. This is going to be a very interesting matchup. This happens on Black Friday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time.
7 point favorites is a little wild. The Bears are 8-3, dude.
It's Yeah, Bears are 8-3. Eagles are coming off a loss against a not as formidable opponent as you would expect them to lose to. That means they're just going to be angry and ready to rear their heads back and go after Caleb Williams all day. Caleb's going to have to do something special. He's got to go back to his old Heisman Trophy winning days to really pull something out of his bag here. I see Ben Johnson doing a lot of different weird trick plays during this game just to keep the Bears competitive and in this game. But it all comes down to the Eagles' offense, honestly. The Bears' defense, like we all know, is not the best defense. They're right around average or just a little bit below average. They're well above average for their turnover differential, but everything else not super great that you want to see. So let's see if the Eagles offense can actually put something together and play a solid full game against the Bears defense because they can only put up a solid quarter against the Cowboys last week, and that was not nearly enough.
I was about to say I'm willing to put it out there that the Bears defense is better than the Cowboys. So it
Against
might be
that rush defense though, with Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark up there now.
I'm they might be turnover dependent, but the Cowboys defense is not great, dude. But
I was going to say, Saquon has not necessarily had a good season. He hasn't really gotten the attempts that he has over the last couple
Not
of
even
years. He
close,
hasn't.
but the Bears rush defense is nowhere as good as what the Cowboys rush
That's
defense could have
that's
done
where
last
that's
week.
where I was going to go. I think this is probably going to be a breakout week for Saquon Barkley. Last week against the Cowboys, we saw some more passes to AJ Brown. He was able to get some more yards. He was able to get a touchdown. That is going to go into regression for the next
congratulations,
three
you were
weeks.
involved in a loss, buddy. I'm so proud of you.
That's going to go into regression over the next 3 weeks, as he usually has 3 down weeks, and then he complains enough, and they finally get him involved. This week, it's going to be a Saquon week. I do not trust the Bears' um, run stopping capabilities, but I am really excited to see what Ben Johnson can do on the offensive front for the Bears. The Eagles defense we know is still very, very strong, even with the blunder last week against the Cowboys, who have one of the best offenses in the league. Can the Bears fight with that same capabilities that the Cowboys did, even if they, or probably when they go down on multiple scores? Can they get themselves back into it? And that'll be up to head coach Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams. They've done it so far this season. Maybe they can stay consistent, but I just don't know with this Eagles defense.
It's going to be very exciting to see what they can do. This is really going to test the Bears and see how far ahead of schedule they are with how deep they could possibly go in the playoffs this year and what they need to improve on for next year since they are so far ahead of where everybody thought they would be this year.
They don't even have to go far to continue to be ahead of schedule. They
No,
can
they have to
lose in
make
the wild
the
card.
playoffs. They have to make the playoffs to be ahead of
They'll
schedule.
make the playoffs. Their division is awful. They'll make the playoffs.
Stop.
I don't know about that, man.
You
Eight and
guys are
three.
Jordan Love lovers now?
No, but
That Packers
Okay, then.
defense is
you can't.
fantastic, though.
You got a good defense in Minnesota, sputtering offense. You got a good defense in Green Bay and a better offense than Minnesota. And then you have the Lions. That's not a bad division.
Lions aren't in the playoff race at the moment.
The Bears still have to play the Lions again this year, and the Packers twice.
I'm not worried. Bear down.
I I mean the Lions will make the playoffs. You're crazy if you say they won't.
They won't make the playoffs. I'm crazy.
You're crazy.
They need a lot of help, just like the Chiefs.
How about that last game of the week?
Bills Steelers. NFL trying to keep the Sunday games interesting after the big Thanksgiving games.
Go away.
This is one of them. You didn't mute yourself for that. I don't know if you were trying to.
Oh, I don't have my mic set up.
Crazy, crazy.
That's crazy.
But what version of the Bills are we going to get in this game? It's in Pittsburgh, so you might see something better out of the Steelers. But I mean, yeah, it really depends on what version of Josh Allen and what version of the Bills you're going to get, because they could come out and lay an egg. They've shown that this season. They've lost to lesser opponents. Um, how how focused do they come out? How how do they attack this game? That's what's really going to make this interesting because the Steelers, however mismanaged they are on offense, their defense can create points, as you saw last week with a defensive touchdown. So the Steelers could keep it interesting. It's it's on the Bills. The Bills got to show up.
I wasn't only saying go away to my dog because he was annoying me. I was also saying go away to you. This game sucks. The Bills are bad. The Steelers are bad.
Ass.
I don't care if Aaron Rodgers is going to play or he's not going to play. This game is awful, and I do not want to watch it.
So I
I'm
mean,
sorry for all of you out there who were sitting here telling to watch this game because it's not
There's a
Jalen
good.
reason.
Warren,
There's a reason this
Jalen
game's on
Warren and
Sunday.
Jalen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell can make plenty of stuff happen in the run game. The Bills are susceptible against the run. I think the Steelers can put up some points in this game. Like I said, it's what version of the Bills and Josh Allen do we get?
Who did the Steelers play last week?
You tell me.
They played the Bears.
And
They played
lost.
the Bears and lost.
Okay.
They're
Bears
going
are
up
8-3. Are the Bills 8-3?
while the Bills don't have that good of a defense, it's still a better defense than what we've been talking about with the Bears. Steelers are bad. You should feel bad for picking this for your game of the week.
I think Jalen Warren will have a game. Whatever quarterback plays, I mean, it's not Aaron Rodgers isn't playing, right?
Now the
He has
fucking
not been
wrist.
ruled out.
Well, whatever quarterback plays, they're going to be hitting a lot of short routes. They're going to be utilizing tight ends and running backs. Kenneth Gainwell should be seeing some passes out of the backfield. Like I said, Jalen Warren's
They're coming
probably
for
going
you.
to have a good game. Oh, you could hear that? My bad.
They're coming for you for picking this game.
Whatever you want to say, dude. It'll be a good game of football unless we get MVP Josh Allen and the Bills come out with just piss and vinegar. Because they could totally run away with this and just make it a blowout. But I don't think we get the perfect Bills on offense. I think we see some drama in this game, and it'll be close.
They just cut former Chief Sky Moore.
Good. That was probably was bringing their roster down.
Wait, who cut him?
The Bills.
When did he get on the Bills? He was on the Niners.
Was it who they cut? That was that's right. He was they. I was reading an article. They
Did
said
they
they
cut
cut,
McCole? They just
no.
signed McCole recently. Sorry, Carey.
Gary. They cut a wide receiver. Who else do they have on the team named Moore? That's all the article that I said. Never. Yeah, never mind.
They signed
I don't know why
Brandon Cooks, didn't they?
they signed Brandon Cooks, but they cut another wide receiver. The article said that I was
I
reading,
saw
and his
that.
last
It
name was
wasn't
Moore.
was it Elijah
I
Moore?
and I well, no, we have Elijah Moore.
We have Elijah
No, we
Mitchell.
have Elijah
Mitchell.
Mitchell.
Elijah Moore. Who the hell is Elijah Moore?
Used to play for the Browns.
Big Browns guy. Big Shedeur guy.
Yeah, it was Elijah Moore that was released by the Bills.
Hmm.
Okay.
This guy doesn't know his
Oh,
Elijah's.
okay. I know who we're talking about now.